The Hundred Years' War, spanning from 1337 to 1453, was a complex and protracted conflict that engulfed Western Europe. Fought primarily between the kingdoms of England and France, this war was characterized by shifting alliances, military innovations, and socio-economic changes that had lasting impacts on both nations. Despite its name, the Hundred Years' War was not a continuous century-long conflict but rather a series of intermittent hostilities with long periods of truce. Background and causes. The roots of the Hundred Years' War can be traced back to territorial disputes, dynastic claims, and economic tensions between England and France. The conflict was ignited by a complex web of factors, including the English king's claims to French territories and the long-standing rivalry between the Plantagenet and Valois dynasties. One of the primary catalysts was the contested succession to the French throne. The death of Charles IV of France in 1328 without a male heir sparked a succession crisis. Edward III of England, as the son of Charles IV's sister, claimed the French crown, but the French nobility rejected his claim in favor of Philip VI, a cousin of the deceased king. This dispute over the legitimacy of the French succession set the stage for the ensuing conflict. Phases of the war. The Hundred Years' War can be divided into several distinct phases. The first phase, from 1337 to 1360, saw early English successes, including the Battle of Crécy in 1346 and the capture of Calais in 1347. The Treaty of Bretigny in 1360 temporarily ended hostilities, granting extensive territories in France to England. However, the respite was short-lived. Renewed conflict erupted in the 1369–1389 phase, marked by the French reconquest of territories and the inspiring leadership of figures like Bertrand du Guesclin. The Treaty of Troyes in 1420, another pivotal moment, saw Henry V of England recognized as heir to the French throne and marrying Catherine of Valois. The subsequent regency of Henry VI further complicated the dynastic claims and succession issues. The final phase, from 1415 to 1453, witnessed the rise of figures like Joan of Arc and the decline of English fortunes. Joan's impact on the war was profound, as her leadership inspired French victories, most notably the lifting of the Siege of Orleans in 1429. The crowning of Charles VII at Reims in 1429 dealt a significant blow to English aspirations. Key battles and military innovations. The Hundred Years' War witnessed significant changes in military tactics and technology. The English longbow, exemplified at the Battle of Crécy and the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, proved instrumental in the hands of skilled archers. This ranged weapon gave English forces a distinct advantage, especially in open-field battles. However, the French adapted to this challenge, utilizing artillery and evolving cavalry tactics. The French victory at Castillon in 1453, where cannon fire played a decisive role, marked the end of the war. The Hundred Years' War thus became a testing ground for military innovations that would shape future conflicts. Impact on society and economy. The war had profound socio-economic consequences for both England and France. The conflict strained resources, leading to increased taxation and economic hardships for the population. The Black Death, a devastating pandemic in the mid-14th century, compounded the challenges faced by both nations. In England, the war prompted changes in feudal structures, contributing to the emergence of a money-based economy. The rise of a mercantile class and increased centralization of power were notable outcomes. In France, the war fostered a sense of national identity and pride, solidifying the monarchy's authority. Legacy. The Hundred Years' War had a lasting impact on the trajectory of both England and France. It marked the end of medieval chivalry as a dominant force in warfare and set the stage for the Renaissance. The war also contributed to the development of standing armies and the centralization of power in the hands of monarchs. Joan of Arc, a central figure in the war, was later canonized as a saint, symbolizing the resilience and spirit of the French people. The conflict left scars on both nations but laid the foundation for the formation of modern, centralized states. In conclusion, the Hundred Years' War was a transformative period in European history, shaping the destinies of England and France. It tested military strategies, spurred technological innovations, and had profound socio-economic effects. The war's legacy endured beyond the battlefield, influencing the emergence of nation-states and setting the stage for the profound changes that would characterize the Renaissance and the early modern period.